Hi, I'm Chris Lord-Alge, and welcome to Mix LA. This is my mixing studio here in beautiful downtown Tarzana. This is where we make all the action happen. This is where the hits are made, this is where the music rocks, and this is where we show you how we do what we do here. Well, let's think of the artists I've worked with. I would say it starts at All American Rejects and heads all the way down to Zebrahead. And in between, we could have artists like U2, we could have Bruce Springsteen, we could have Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, we could have Green Day, we could have Alanis Morissette, we could have Bon Jovi. Sometimes I actually have to go up to All Music to just remember all the names. It's most of the time I'm remembering the current names of what's coming out, like Daughtry or upcoming Creed or, artists like that. But it's a pretty wide spectrum that covers from hip hop to hard rock. Okay, well, we're back here at Mix LA behind the console here with me, Chris Lord-Alge, sitting at my SSL 4K. And we're going to talk some more about the classic compressors for CLA. And we have a file up by an artist named Hot, and it's brand new, spanking new, production by Steve Hott and Brian House, song called Here For You. We're going to run through some of the plugins right away here and see what we do with them. One of the first ones that I usually check right away is what's the most important part of the song to me is the vocals. So we look right now at the personality of the vocals. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to play a bit of the song with the plugin engaged on the vocal.
How many times can I say it? I don't know why you don't think.
This is our Blue 1176 plugin.
If we just talk it out in a time when there's doubt, I know everything will fall into place. Every bridge that we cross isn't easy. Every line that we draw, we don't mean it. When we say it in anger, we fall into danger. You're not hearing what I'm trying to say. You know I'll always be here.
So that's with our plugin engaged. Now, the 1176 Blue I really favor on lead vocals. So you can hear right away the character it adds. So let's start right from the beginning again and hear bypass on that.
How many times can I say it? I don't know why you don't think we can make it. If we just
So what I noticed right away is there's some personality that was just pulled away from it. So I can tell right in a few beats that, wait a second, now put it back on, let me just hear that first bit again.
How many times can I say it? I
can hear this warmness and fullness to the feel, and it kind of controls his dynamics, and it makes it sound like he's right singing in your ear. So stop it right there. So I'm really excited about what the texture does right away. The vocal recording, which is great to begin with, as soon as we control the dynamics, it starts to just have character and meld in with the track. Well, the concept behind the CLA bundle, as I talked with the designers, especially Mike Fratis, was he came down to my studio, came down to my mix room, and looked around and tried to figure out, well, what are you really using all the time? And what would be the devices you would really love to have us design? And it really boiled down to, well, I would love for you to take the Blue Stripe, the Black Bass, the real industrial strength tools that everybody knows about, and let's get those right so I can have 100 of them that all sound the same and work the same and not have to worry about them being so fussy. And it started out with the LA3, the 1176, and the LA2A, and that's what we finalized on, and having the blue and the black and just going through every single one that I have and finding the mid-ground that was the best of all of them. So why don't we take a quick peek we can start right with that first B section of the song, and we could actually listen to the two vocals together and hear the backgrounds, which have an LA2A, and the vocal, which of course has the Blue 1176. Take it away, Keith.
time when there's doubt, I know everything will fall into place. Every bridge that we cross isn't easy. Every line that we draw, we don't mean it. When we say it in anger, we fall into danger. You're not hearing what I'm trying to say. You know I'll always be here for you, no matter what we.
So what I notice right now is it glues it right together. So why don't maybe we could solo those background vocals with the LA2 on it, right there in the beginning of the chorus, and let's see how much gain reduction we're getting to create that sound.
Always be here for you, no matter what we've both been going through. If we take a different route, we can work it out, 'cause we both have so much to lose. You know that.
Okay, so I love how that feels. Really generous amount of compression, add some character right away. Now let's just listen to that same stretch in bypass and see what it does for us.
Always be here for you, no matter what we've both been going through. If we take a different route, we can work it out, 'cause we both have so much to lose.
What I find right away is that it comes kind of unglued for me. It glues it, the silkiness of the top end really feels well. The LA2A is more silky and more like a warm coat and less in your face, but it keeps the creaminess of the vocal together. So between the two vocals, those two together, let's solo the lead vocal and the backgrounds, showing that the 1176 and the 2A, how these two plugins, even though they're different styles, how the vocals work together with the plugins on. Let's just play that same stretch.
Always be here for you, no matter what we've both been going through. If we take a different route, we can work it out, 'cause we both have so much to lose.
That's great. I love how it glues it together. The backgrounds have a width to them. The lead vocal has an in-your-face effect to it. So this just shows the power right away of the 1176 Blue and the LA2A. I find that certain compressors out of my collection do well on certain instruments. So I have some go-to compressors that I use for vocals. Blue 1176s, black 1176s, and even more recently the 176, which is a reissue of the Retro 176, which is a new version of the actual original Yuri 176. So then that's with the vocals. Now the LA3As, which is yet another flavor, turned out to be my real go-to limiter for guitars, acoustic instruments, certain keyboards, and tended to be always used in the chain. The more newer 1176s, the black, even the silver-faced, tended to go into the drum department and help me there for the drum sounds. So why don't we focus now on some elements in the track. Let's go right to the drums, and we could start right in probably verse 2 is where a good section of the drums, and kind of look at just soloing the drums and hearing what they sound like. We're using black 1176 plugins on the drums. Those I feel work the best for the drums. So let's take a gander at verse 2 with the plugins we've selected. Now that you see what we're doing there, let's just try that same stretch and bypass. You see that what it does, you get some sustain off the kick. The snare has a little bit of a ring quality to it, and when it's in the track, it really feels like you're in there with the drum kit. Now what I notice right away while it's playing is that I hear too much point, and I hear too much of what I call the digital thing, which is the plugins kind of round off and make it feel a bit more analog, a bit real. I hear the snare like a little bit more ring, and I hear the kick a little bit more sustain. So let's look at another part of the drum kit, since we're hearing the whole drum kit together. A couple of other places that I'll use it is the overheads. So let's just look right at the overhead tracks and we'll kind of play them during that section, and they're using the black 1176 plugins, and show you what the difference is between regular, with the plugin on, and without. Because it has the plugins on, you hear some sustain, you hear a little bit more ring right away. So if we back up that same little section and go on bypass, let's see what happens. What you do is you lose a little bit of level, maybe because that's just, just a level thing, but what you notice is that there's this character and this ring that normally comes with the drums that kind of goes away by not having the 1176s in.